This year's VA theme is Year of the Caregiver, and here to tell us about the meaning behind the theme is Dr. Colleen Richardson. And this is amazing that you are the VA. I thought it was local. She's actually coming nationally to do a site survey, which is so important, but also to talk about this theme about our caregivers. And as I was saying before you came on, the VA has been a big part of my family because my mother actually took care of veterans in a veterans home. And that's what the veterans are, the VA is all about, is taking care of our veterans and the caregivers. Yes. And that's something I think that you really wanted to focus on going forward with. We know the past problems that we've seen, and as you guys sat down and listened to people, that's why this theme this year is so important, isn't it? It
absolutely is. Year of the Caregiver is our opportunity to really focus on these caregivers who have such an amazing and very unique job. So we're just going to really focus on them this year and do the best we can.
Yeah, because we understand when you take care of the caregivers, they're going to take care of our veterans.
That's correct.
And it's almost a partnership. So not just saying the caregivers, it's also the veterans too that you had to listen to, because again, that's where the caregivers come in. And so going forward, what are we going to be seeing with this program, and how is it going to be benefiting both the caregivers and the veterans?
Absolutely. So the Caregiver Support Program has a really unique mission in VA. So where VA usually focuses on the veterans, my program gets to focus solely on these caregivers. And as you said, caregivers have a big job. They take care of these veterans. And so this year, we're really looking on focusing on mental health services and supports and respite. Respite is one of those things that caregivers need. They need some time for themselves. They have such a big job. We really want to focus on taking care of them both mentally and emotionally, but also giving them breaks that they need to in between all their jobs.
Yeah, because I mean, people have to realize too that I forget what the number is, and maybe you can help me out, of the caregivers that are actually veterans themselves, and that's one reason why they're working with the VA, because they understand, they know what they're going through. So they also need to have that break too, and I think that helps them to talk with the veterans too.
Absolutely. So our caregivers are typically family members or close friends that take care of these veterans, so they're very familiar with the military family and what comes along with being in the military and all the unique experiences that our veterans face or have faced.
So as you're here doing the site, so far, I mean, we've been incredible to our veterans here, I know. It's really great to see. So what are some of the things that you're going to be seeing to do here? Because everybody's different. That's what I also love about the VA. Yeah. My mother's in Michigan. It's different in each place, but it's still the same core. It's still the same taking care of people. So we have to let people know. I mean, different VAs have different things, especially out here we have the different needs.
Absolutely. So the Caregiver Support Program here in Phoenix does a remarkable job taking care of the caregiver. So they do a lot of training and education. They do mental health counseling and support here locally. So you'll see things like groups around dementia, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, PTSD, traumatic brain injury. So they really help focus on training the caregivers for those additional skills that they may need. And at the same time, we want to underline and bold that word support in what we do. We want to support them every step of the way. And so that's what the program here does and what we do nationally across the country as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's just incredible of this program that you're doing, and love to hear about it and stuff that's going forward. Anything that anybody at home right now who is possibly going to be one of those caregivers, anything you can suggest to them, something they need to look for, something they need to think about?
Absolutely. So a lot of the time our caregivers don't even realize that they're caregiving, because it's just something that they do inherently. It's that altruistic nature that they have, is to take care of others. But we usually tell folks, if you're doing something for somebody every single day, one of our veterans, whether it's helping them with their medications or you're helping them with grooming, dressing, bathing, you're probably a caregiver. So we want you to call our local our local caregiver support team here in Phoenix and get into our program so we can support you and offer you additional services that you need each and every day.
Yeah, that is so great, because I know that, and also the caregivers have to realize you got to set your pride aside so you can help those veterans, because sometimes, as you said, those caregivers don't realize they're caregivers because it's a family member or someone they know very closely. And so that's where you're saying, no, you are a caregiver. You do mean a lot to the VA, and you got to come.
They mean a whole lot to the VA. They do incredible work, incredible work.
It is. So, Dr. thank you for coming in and talking with us a little bit. Where can people find out more information, especially if they're a caregiver here in the Valley and want to know, and even up in Prescott in different areas?
Sure. They can go to our local caregiver website, so www.caregiver.va.gov, and they can find their local caregiver support team right on our website.
All right. Doctor, thank you very much for coming in.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.